What's going on, fellow Illuminaries? Welcome back in. I'm Lorcana, the Mad Titan of the Illuminary, and we are going to wrap up reveals with my favorite cards. Let's go. So here we are on Dreamborn.inc. Gonna go over my favorite cards from Archazia's island, minus the legendaries. Reason for that is I'm doing my legendary ranking video here shortly, so be sure to stay tuned to the channel and subscribe so you can see that. Let's go ahead and get right into it. First up, for Emerald, we have Pete, Pirate Scoundrel. So it's a inkable one that's a 1/2 for 1, but the reason why I like it is that whenever you play an action that isn't a song, you may banish a chosen item. Yes, it's got a cost to it, but it's item removal for Emerald, and so that's why I have it on there. Next up, we have the Troubadour, musical narrator. A card going into Amber Steel that has resist +1, is a inkable 2 cost, and is Singer 4. I feel is like an upgrade over the Ursula Vanessa. And then we have Mirabelle Magical, Hopeful Dreamer. Again, a card for Amber Amethyst. Inkable 3 cost, 1/3 for 1, evasive in Singer 5. While obviously not as good as, say, something like Ariel, it is a card that I do enjoy though, and I think it having evasive is actually good, and so I want to test that out some more. Obviously got to have Giant Cobra, Ghostly Serpent on here. Inkable 3, a 4/4 for 1 with the new Vanish keyword. But obviously when you play it, you discard a card and gain 2 lore. And then obviously you can bounce it back with Mim Snake and rinse and repeat. Then we have the Mother Gothel, Vain Sorceress. Talked about her on my prior video, going over some more reveals that I'm enjoying from the set, which you can find in the card up above and in the description down below. But again, a Ruby Amethyst card, inkable 3, 1/4 for 1, that when she challenges, you can remove a damage counter from a chosen character to a opponent's chosen character, and so it's more ways to move damage counters around, and I have a deck that I'm working on for that. This set really opened that up a little bit, so I want to really do some testing on that before we talk about it here on the channel. Next we got Pacha, Truckmate. So I didn't really see the full translation of this card until pretty recently. This card's pretty cool. So yeah, obviously it's an Emerald, inkable 3, 3/2 for 1. That while you have more cards in your hand than each opponent, so built in for multiplayer, this character gets an additional 2 lore, going up to 3. So it's great for multiplayer, but obviously even in a 1v1 situation, lean into Emerald's discard, and there you go. He will be at 3 and 3/2, so he's pretty decently statted. Obviously got to have the best card in the set in here with Belle. Don't need to talk about Belle, you know what she does. Next up, we got Pepper, Quick Thinking Puppy, inkable 3, 2/2 for 1, that whenever one of your puppies is banished, you may put that card into your inkwell face down and exerted. This is going to pair very well with the brand new Pongo. I'm also working on a puppy deck for you puppy enthusiasts, so stay tuned to the channel for that. Next up, a card I wasn't expecting to put on here, but after some thinking, I put it on here. We have Kenai, Protected Brother. So Kenai is an Amber here, inkable 4, 2/4 for 1, and the reason why he's on here, at the end of your turn, if this character is exerted, you may ready another chosen character of yours and remove all damage from them. So ready character and heal it. On the surface, that seems pretty good. Will this card be a 4 of? No. Will it be a 2 to 3 of? Yes. I gotta go with my boy Jafar. His enchanted is insane. It's my chase enchanted for the set, so spoiler for when we do that video. But yeah, he's a starter card, and I had to put him on here. It's Jafar, and I really want to play around with the new illusion creatures and see what comes from that. Then we have Cusco, Panic Llama here, a non-inkable 4 cost, that's a 2/2 for 2, and Emerald Amethyst. So it has evasive. That's already a good start. And then at the start of your turn, you choose one, each player draws one, or each player chooses and discards. So again, kind of cycling through the deck, or you're going to make your opponent discard. Seems pretty good. Then we have Madame Medusa, Diamond Lover, a inkable 4, 3/4 for 1. So whenever she quests, you may deal 2 damage to another chosen character of yours. put the top 3 cards of chosen player's deck into their discard. This is mill support on top of, say, using Bell, Accomplished Mystic. You got your Mother Gothel, some other ways to move damage counters around. I think it'd be a fun way to do that while also milling out your opponent, and I really want to play mill. So Shere Khan, I love Shere Khan as a character anyways, so I love the Jungle Book, so had to put him on here. Discarding your hand is not the best. Obviously, if you don't have a hand, then it doesn't matter, but him being a 4/4 that has 4 lore and non-inkable might work out okay. We got the Beagle Boys. The Beagle Boys are interesting. It's a Ruby Sapphire card. Obviously, it's inkable 4, a 3/3 for 2. I like it because when it quests, chosen character of yours gains rush and resist +1, and I think there might be some fun shenanigans you could do with this card in the future. Hey there, so real quick, if you're enjoying the content, if you could do me a massive favor, be sure to like, subscribe, and click that bell so you get notified of when I upload new videos every Tuesday and Friday. And let me know down below what you think of the video. All right, back to the video. We got crazy old Maurice here. So Maurice, Unconventional Inventor, inkable 4, 5/2 for 1. So when you play him, you may banish a chosen item of yours to draw a card. If the item that you banished was Maurice's machine, which we'll get to, you may also banish chosen character with 2 strength or less. So it's a replacement effect and a built-in brawl if you get rid of the his machine. So there may be some synergy. Again, this guy's probably a 2, maybe 3 of, but I want to try it out and see. Now we have Moana Island Explorer, inkable 4, 4/3 for 1 with evasive. So she is a genie killer. That's the primary reason that she's on here. Not that Ruby needed more tools, but here we go. Whenever this character challenges another character, another chosen character of yours gets +3 strength this turn. So she can kill genies and stat boost other stuff. Seems pretty good. Bolt we've already gone into. Let's talk about Krunk here. So I did not see this card for a while. This card is really interesting. So again, another tool in the Emerald Amethyst toolbox. Non-inkable 5 cost. It's a 4/4 for 2 lore ward. But the reason why he's on this list, if an effect would cause you to discard 1 or more cards, you don't discard. Anti-discard seems pretty good. It counters one of its own color's identities. I think that's pretty good. Mushu is a fantastic card we've already talked about. We talked about Baymax last time. This Mirabelle I thought seemed kind of interesting. So she is, of course, as you see, in Amber Amethyst, a inkable 6, 2/6 for 2. That shifts for 4. I put her on here because whenever she quests, you may return a song card with a cost of 3 or less from your discard to your hand. Now, obviously, the colors that she's in don't have the strongest package for songs, but you can get back like Bare Necessities or Friends on the Other Side, for example. If you are doing some fun, like the bosses on a roll shenanigans, you could use that. Hades is a card that I just really enjoy. Again, going for the Ruby Amethyst damage set character to then move damage counters around. It's going to be for that deck. Baymax, I think, has a lot of potential with the brand new Universal Shift, and then you remove all the damage from him when you do that. Wendy's just a card I really enjoy. I believe we've talked about her, but we can go over her real quick. So inkable 7, 5/7 for 2 with evasive. That's already really big, having the evasive, and she's statted really well. And then whenever one of your characters is banished, you may remove all damage from chosen character. Seems pretty interesting. I'm going to have to test her out, especially in Ruby Fossa, just a deck you guys know I've been enjoying quite a bit lately. But I think she has some potential. Yzma, again, another card like the Krunk I just saw pretty recently. There was a lot to keep track of. Again, another tool in the Emerald Amethyst toolbox. Inkable 7, 3, 8, evasive, shift 5, and 2 lore. Again, evasive is becoming a very important keyword. And so, whenever another character is banished in a challenge, return that card to its player's hand. Then that player discards a card at random. So, that applies to both players. but seems pretty good to lean into the identity of both of these inks. Hero we talked about last time, Mulan we talked about in the past, and of course we've talked about the Belle as well. I think all these cards have potential, especially Belle. I want to see someone break Mulan and Hero. If you get all of the shifting right with your Floodborns, Hero can end games pretty easily. For the 2 actions, we've talked about both these cards before. Restoring the Crown, as I said before, is going to be a 2 of at most, but I think it has potential. But someone's going to have to make a deck to work around it. And then Ink Geyser, as I said, we've talked about this card before. On the surface, when you read it, this card is very good. I do think it's only going to be a 2 or 3 of if people play it. I don't think you're going to make a dedicated 4 of for this. That would be a lot of anti-Sapphire hate if you really went 4 of with this card. So I don't really think that's going to happen. This definitely feels like a 2 to 3 of for me. For a song, we have the Family Madrigal. So again, it's inkable, 5 costs, and then you look at the top 5 cards of your deck. You may reveal up to 1 magical character card and put up to 1 song card, and put them into your hand, and then put the rest on the top of your deck in any order. All right, this is what I've been waiting for, is these type of cards. So what I want to do with this is Bruno and the Boss is on a roll, and then use those shenanigans, and that's for lore. Yeah. Obviously, let's just go here. For the items, 3 of them are pretty obvious. So the Glass Slipper, I thought this one was just kind of fun. It's very thematic, and I have been wanting to make a Cinderella deck for a while. So it's a non-inkable 2 in Amber, and you can only run 2 Glass Slippers in your deck, which is it's very thematic, obviously with them being a pair. And then, so you banish this item, you exert one of your prince characters, you search your deck for a princess card, and reveal it to all players. Again, worded for multiplayer. You put that card into your hand, then shuffle your deck. So, it's kind of, pseudo-generic princess support, but it's obviously meant to, there's a Cinderella that kind of synergizes with this in the set that you can use it on. And then we've got the main trio, especially the top 2 cards you're going to see. Unconventional Tool, obviously you guys know what it does. And then the Coil, so these have to be on the list. And then here is said Maurice's Machine, and we will end on this. So Maurice's Machine is in Ruby Sapphire, inkable 3 costs, that when it's banished, you may return an item card with cost 2 or less from discard to your hand. So, yeah, that seems pretty good, because then obviously if you use the Maurice, you'll play Maurice, banish it, draw a card, get the pseudo brawl effect, and then get the effect to return a 2 cost item or less, which could be a Coil, another Unconventional Tool, another Popsicle, whatever you want. So, yeah, these are the cards that I am looking at, and for legendaries, check out that legendary video. That's going to do it for today's video. Be sure to give me one of these. It's super impactful and helping this video find other Illuminaires such as yourself. If you like the Lorcana content here on the channel and you want to see more, tighten smash that subscribe button and click that bell so you get notified of when I upload new videos every Tuesday and Friday. Also, be sure to let me know down below what you thought of this video, and you can follow me on the artist formerly known as Twitter on X at lorcanathanos, and I'm on Blue Sky as well at lorcanathanos. Thanks for watching, and I think you might enjoy these. And remember, the hardest choices require the strongest wills.